Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling. And man, I really appreciate you guys coming by the channel and spending some of your day with me. Always appreciate that and never take it for granted. And guys, today got a good one for you all today. We're going to be talking about how to catch bass in September. I'm going to go over my favorite lures for the month of September, favorite techniques. And I'll tell you guys right off the bat, September is, in my opinion, the #1 toughest month of the year to catch bass in. I don't think out of every month of the year, I think it's harder to catch them in September than about any other time of year, especially unless you're fishing like up north in the Great Lakes or something where they bite all the time up there. Those guys are spoiled up there. But for the rest of us mere mortals fishing public bodies of water, September is a grind. But I got some good tips and advice that might help you guys out not to struggle so much this year. Also, guys, thank you very much for everybody that has taken time to hit that subscribe button here at Intuitive Angling, man. If you haven't done it, it's free and easy. If you subscribe, like the videos, and share the videos, that's really helping the channel out. And also, guys, if you want to go to the next step on Intuitive Angling, you can be a channel member. We have several different levels of memberships. Members get free videos, private videos that are not seen by the public every week with some access to my email address for your fishing questions. So if you're interested, just go to my YouTube channel homepage and click on membership or join. Get you all the info for that. So really appreciate that. Okay, guys, we're going to be talking about September fishing. I'm primarily in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about shallow water patterns because September is one of the few months out of the year that you can do good. You can do just as good as the spotlighters fishing shallow. It's sort of a 50-50 deal. It's like some tournaments are won shallow in September, some are won spotlighting. But for the most part, for real bass fishing, we're going to stick to those techniques that most people enjoy fishing more. And I've got 5 or 6 different techniques I want to go over in today's video and sort of explain to you the situations they work in. Okay, the first one, guys, I don't know if you tried this before because a lot of people don't associate it with September. The guy's just an old school rattle trap. Take a 1/4 ounce or 1/2 ounce old school rattle trap. And if you have a windy day, let's say that, for example, you get one of those days where the wind's blowing 15 miles an hour or so out of the south, get on the flattest, like flat rocky banks or flat gravelly banks, something like that have some wind blowing in on it. If you have water visibility that is under 3 feet, and guys, just throw this chrome and blue rattle trap just right up on the bank there. Just reel it with a medium fast retrieve on those windy banks. And a lot of times in September, those bass will start taking advantage of those wind-blown banks in shallow water. And a rattle trap is a great way to catch them under those conditions. Doesn't really matter what the cloud conditions are. As long as you got some wind and you got some off-colored water, they will hammer a rattle trap. And also, guys, in September, a rattle trap is a really good bait to use around boat docks. You know, cast it down the sides and the corners of docks. Really good way to catch them. And also, guys, I'll link every one of these lures. I'll put in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description. I'll link each bait in my description of the video if you guys would like to pick them up and try them this September. Okay, the next one of my favorites, is a little 4-inch ringworm, guys. This is a Zoom dead ringer here. Small little ringworm, guys. I flip it and pitch it on a 3/16 ounce sinker, usually with like 17-pound test Seagarn VizX line. Sometimes a 1/4 ounce, but 3/16, no more than a 1/4, 3/16 or a 1/4. Put it on like a 1/0 straight shank hook and just pitch and flip this little ringworm, guys, around any shallow cover. It's like lay down trees, lily pads, grass beds, if you have some docks or whatever. You hear me talking a lot of times that they like a little bit downsized lure at times in the fall time of the year or early fall or late summer. And this little ringworm is a really, really good way to catch them, especially if you have some tough fishing conditions. My favorite color would be either the June bug or the black and blue, but really, really good bait to flip and pitch around. Now, on the sort of a 180 on that, but in the same scenario, guys, a full-size jig is also a really good bait in September. This is my Blaukat Throwback jig. I'll link it in the description of the video. Zoom big salty chunk on it, 1/2 ounce jig. And guys, there's a big difference between the profile of the big bulky jig and the little ringworm. But the times that a jig, a full-size jig, really gets a lot of bites in September, and I'm going to be fishing a jig a bunch. I've got 2 tournaments coming up in September, and this jig is going to be my primary weapon in both of those tournaments. If you have off-colored water or on the verge of being dirty. Let's say you have water visibility that's, you know, anywhere between 6 to 15 inches. Ideally, like 10 or 12 inches of visibility, what most people would call dirty water. Throw that full-size jig around any cover in dirty water. You know, I've caught them in lily pads, I've caught them in cattails, I've caught them in grass, caught them on docks, I've caught them on lay down trees, I've caught them pitching to bluff banks, I've caught them pitching to riprap banks. But there's something about a half-ounce full-size jig, living rubber. My Blaukat Throwback jigs, the living rubber skirt on there, which is a lot better. They bite it, and you're not going to get near as many bites as you will on the ringworm, but the quality fish are going to be there. And another little tip I'm going to give you on the jig in September is when you're working it, you know, throw that jig out there, let it sit at the bottom, and sort of snap it off the bottom like that. Just sort of hop it high off the bottom. You don't want to just like this around the bottom. You want to snap it off the bottom like that and come down. In that hotter water in September, especially since you're using a bigger profile bait, sometimes hopping that jig a foot or two off the bottom will generate a strike for that. Okay, the next one, guys, you guys hear me talking about this bait all the time in the summertime because it's the best, it's one of the best baits you can throw. Megabass Super Z1, they make a Super Z2 and a Super Z1. I really like the Super Z1 in the September specifically. Small little Finesse crankbait, works great around any wood or rock and off-colored water. Riprap banks, rocky banks, throw it down next to a log, throw it next to a boat dock. Bass love this bait, guys. The Super Z1 and the Super Z2 in September, it will get you a bite under the toughest fishing conditions ever. Guys, I have whacked them on this thing, like for example, down at Grand Lake in Oklahoma in September when nobody else is catching any fish. Take this little Super Z1 and they will just hammer the thing. Usually use it on 12 to 15 pound test Seaguar and Vizex line, just some type of a medium stop and go retrieve. Okay, and my last one, there's other baits that work, but these are my 5 favorite, guys. And you hear me dogging this bait a lot, but September is the best month for it. The big whopper plopper. Whopper plopper 130. I don't like the little small whopper ploppers. I like the full size one. One of the deals in September that will catch you some good fish is take this whopper plopper and just fish it everywhere. Just cover water with it. You don't have to get specific about anything. Put the trolling motor down, start on a main lake point or whatever, fish the main lake point, fish back in the cove, fish in the back of the cove, pull it up, parallel it down a bluff bank, parallel it down a riprap bank, cover freaking water as much as you possibly can, throw it out there, make some type of a medium fast stop and go retrieve. The key on a whopper plopper is a fast retrieve. You don't want to go blah, 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 you'll never get a bite. It needs to be moving through the water with a fast stop and go retrieve. And the water visibility I like for that whopper plopper, anything over 2 foot visibility. I don't really like it in off-colored water. Perfect water visibility for me on a whopper plopper bite is like 3 to 4 foot clarity. That's my favorite bite. Don't pay attention to the shade. Don't pay attention to the sunlight. If it's cloudy, sunny, it doesn't matter. It's about making as many freaking casts as you possibly can. And it's one of those workhorse type techniques that produces some good ones if you can just stay with it. But anyway, guys, that's 5 lures, 5 techniques that's going to get you some bites in September. Like I said, every lake's going to be different. Your lake is going to be unique to itself in terms of the water clarity and the cover. But I can promise, guys, some of these 5 lures that I talked about, if you find that type of water I described, you're going to catch some good fish on them. So hope it helps you out. We'll talk later.